This week's episode of the Run, Eat, Drink podcast is brought to you by listeners like you. Head on over to patreon.com/runeatdrinkpodcast and subscribe today. Fans, founders, and insiders like you help us keep the Run, Eat, Drink podcast going. And we thank you for your support.
Hi, I'm Jeff Galloway, and you are listening to the Run, Eat, Drink podcast.
Welcome to the Run, Eat, Drink podcast. We feature destination races from across the country. And after the race, we take you on a tour of the best local food and beverage to celebrate. So whether you are an elite runner or a back of the packer like us, you'll know the best places to accomplish, explore, and indulge on your next runcation. Hey, welcome to episode 214 of the Run, Eat, Drink podcast. I'm your host, Amy.
And I'm your co-host, Dana.
Yay!
Happy anniversary, dear.
Happy anniversary.
It is our 5th anniversary episode, and we thought tonight we would do something a little different. We do these every now and then, but we wanted to do a live episode and maybe some call-ins later on.
Hopefully. If anybody is available to call.
But yeah, we've got so much to talk about. This is a spot I don't know that I ever thought we were going to get to. I am super excited that we've hit this milestone.
2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
And it all started with a fateful walking of the dogs.
That is true.
Where we discussed what in the world we might podcast about and what we would be able to maybe bring to everybody. And I see that we do have some people jumping into the chat over on YouTube and Facebook. We've got Josh over on YouTube. We've got Rhonda Lee on Facebook, making us truly an international podcast tonight. Thank you. Thank you both for being here. Thank everybody for jumping in. Please do us a favor. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and what you're drinking tonight, if you are having anything at all. Much like we do on one of our Wednesday night beer chats. But yeah, we just wanted to celebrate with you guys. What a great way to do it. We have Mike over on Facebook saying congrats from Las Cruces, New Mexico. Mike. Oh. And This Diz Life podcast over on Facebook. Hello.
Yay.
Thank you guys.
Oh, Mark, thank you. And I have to say, we normally start out with shout outs on the show.
We do.
And I have to say to Mark, I believe he just completed this in the last few days as of the recording of this show, his Run Disney June virtual 5K.
Oh, very nice.
The Frozen themed series.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations. Yeah, so if you haven't maybe picked up on it, we're going to be doing a little bit of celebrating all of you as we celebrate the fact that the show is still here.
Thank goodness.
We're going to look back a little bit on some of our favorite shows, favorite eats, favorite drinks. And we're also going to be previewing an upcoming race as well.
Yes.
So it's going to be a kind of a like us, it's just going to be a little bit of a mix of everything. We're not exclusively running. We're not exclusively food or travel. We're a little bit of everything where it kind of comes together in the sweet spot, I think.
That would be a nice thing for people to put in the chat. We normally ask them who you are, where you're from, what you're drinking, but also how you connect to us and how you found us. Meg, welcome to the chat, and thank you for the anniversary wishes.
Yes. Now, tonight, we are celebrating our 5-year anniversary with a frosty, cold glass of Underdark barrel-aged stout from Intuition Ale Works in Jacksonville, Florida. This is a beer that we picked up during the Donna Marathon weekend meetup.
Yeah.
For our first official meetup for the Runcation Nation.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually purchased several cans to bring home, as well as some vintage bombers.
For some friends and family.
Yes. Yeah. And maybe one or two for us to have here at the house as well. I mean, you kind of have to.
Mm-hmm.
But Underdark, we have talked about this one on the show actually not too long ago. This one clocks in at about 13% ABV, as I recall.
Something like that.
Barrel-aged stout. I'm going to hold this up to the camera for those watching on video.
Okay. Yay.
This also is a very timely beer because if you are catching up on the Netflix show Stranger Things...
That is entirely true.
You hear them refer to the Upside Down, which is taken or heavily inspired by Dungeons and Dragons, especially this season. Mm-hmm. And the Underdark in Dungeons and Dragons is the Upside Down. So there you have it. A little bit of trivia. And let's see, Rhonda is having a lovely glass of ice water, only, probably freshly melted from a Canadian glacier, I'm guessing.
Well, she has been really good with posting reminders for me. She talks about drinking enough water and the hydration that's so important to running.
Oh yeah.
Especially in this summer season, but she's been great about posting about her getting her water in. So it's nice little reminder for me. Not that she's getting after everybody else, but she's reminding me. You know what I mean?
We're getting after everybody. Get your water every day.
It's true.
You need it. So cheers, and let's get this episode started, shall we?
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, and thank you to everybody in the Runcation Nation.
Meg says that she found us searching Run Disney podcasts on Apple several years ago.
Oh,
interesting.
Yeah.
Like we say, we're not Disney exclusive, and I'm kind of giving some of this explanation because I saw that we got several new followers on the show today.
Oh.
And for those that might be watching back, we are not a Disney exclusive podcast. We are Disney adjacent. We are a travel podcast for runners and foodies. We're based in Southwest Florida. We do the Run Disney or some of the Run Disney events every year.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, Disney is a destination for many people who are wanting to do maybe a first time run. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're just got the Run Disney bug, or it's a destination like a lifetime, like bucket list vacation. So we like to do what we can to help people who are going to be partaking in the Run Disney events.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we got Trip Billy over here in the
Trip.
tubes in YouTube. Yay. Hello, Trip. Looks like Meg's also having some water tonight.
Excellent. Everybody's hydrating. That's great.
I've only had, on top of my like regular coffee throughout the day or whatever, I've only had about a little over half a gallon today.
Yeah.
I'm not a full gallon yet.
I think I'm a little bit behind you. Yes. So
So did you have other shout outs?
Well, shout outs. Well, it's just to say thank you to everybody.
She's about to, Amy's about to get a little teary here. You want me to continue on? Yeah. The big shout out is all of you, the listeners, the people who've helped us create this Runcation Nation that you hear us talk about, which is just a great community of supportive people of all ability levels who share a passion for running, food, and drink, experiencing different parts of the world through travel and coming together to support one another. I think this has just been the most amazing community we could have asked for. And for us to not only be here for 5 years, which is huge, but to be here for 5 years through a pandemic. And where travel was basically
and races
hard stop.
Were canceled.
Races canceled. Travel stopped. That's been amazing, and we could not have done it without all of you. So the shout outs for everybody. Mm-hmm. So
we've also had some supporters in the way of companies and businesses that have been so kind to us through the years. So before we start talking about our favorite races, the upcoming race that'll kick off our summer training series and in preparation for fall races, and talk about some of our favorites from this past year in terms of eating, drinking, and see if we can get some live call-ins.
Yeah.
If anybody is going to dial the number. There are wonderful companies. The first of which I want to say thank you to Kevin Gwynn and John Fournier. John, his company is called Squoosh Bands, and he is he and Kevin sent us some free Squoosh Bands, which are wonderful, especially in summer running, and they're so very useful. I would also like to say thank you to Eric Cantor at Expedition Roasters and his theme park inspired coffee and tea.
Yes.
And hot chocolate and just all of that, keeping us caffeinated, just incredible. And Metal Chasers, you mentioned the pandemic and not being able to run and travel and go to live races for the better part of 2 years.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And Metal Chasers kept us moving and training and inspired and motivated. And it's just their attention to detail, their virtual races and virtual race packages and how they support charity. Just it's wonderful. So to Bill and Christina Craig, I think they just celebrated their 6th anniversary of Metal Chasers. So while we're talking about shout outs, congratulations to them. And Colin and Annie at Sunday's Bloodies. They came on our show at the inception of their company, and they're doing so well. And all of these companies are offering discount codes to the Runcation Nation, which I will put in the show notes for this episode.
Okay.
So I shared them with the patrons first, the patrons of our show, and over on patreon.com/runeatdrinkpodcast. And they're available for everybody in the Runcation Nation to help us celebrate 5 years. So if you need Squoosh Bands for summer training, if you need caffeine to stay caffeinated for all purposes in life, if you need motivation in training, or if you need,
or it's recovery day and you need a Bloody Mary.
If it's a rest day, if it's a brunch day and you're celebrating, then we have discount codes at all of these fabulous places, and we can't thank them enough for supporting our show. And there are more coming. They're just for races that are happening later, so stay tuned.
Yes.
And so for Squoosh Bands, Expedition Roasters, Metal Chasers, Sunday's Bloody Mary Mix, we'll put those in the show notes. And thank you to those companies for coming on our show, supporting our show, and helping support everybody in the Runcation Nation.
Absolutely. We have Dan Rams from the Cape Coral Running Group in Facebook. Hello, Dan. Welcome.
Thank you for supporting our show for 5 years. Here. Our 5th anniversary. And the very last shout out that I want to say is a special thank you to Pam and Ariel from Pure Creative Apparel, because they are working on a 5th anniversary shirt design that they're going to put on the website. And
it's going to be very different than anything we've done before too. I'm super excited about that one.
Yeah. And they've given us so much. Ariel has given us free design work for this anniversary logo, as well as our show logo to begin with, and a place to offer the Runcation Nation shirts that help support causes and organizations like the Donna Foundation. People have the ability to buy our apparel and travel and represent, and just photos from races where people are decked out in these. It's all because of you all supporting the show, and Pam and Ariel giving us that identity.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And they're so talented, and they're so discerning with the materials that they select for us, the work that they do, the dealing with clients, and we're the client, when we're like wanting to create something and the constant revision process. And they still let us come over to the house from time to time.
We're a huge pain in the butt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But we're trying to get it right for you guys.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's wonderful to have supporters like that and to be working with a great company like Pure Creative Apparel. Rhonda Lee says she ordered some new medals from Metal Chasers over the weekend. I can't wait to see them.
Love that. Love that. So
and Megan is shouting them out for the design work on the pink ribbon. I love our Donna shirt for this year.
From this past year,
that was fantastic.
I can't wait for next year's. And just they continue to take just the seed of an idea.
These rough, we're
thinking about this, and this.
The
and
most
then,
digital equivalent of a bar napkin sketch and go, this is kind of what we're thinking. Make it not suck. And
and they do that.
And they do.
And it's wonderful. And I'm so thankful. It's so grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are we going to talk running? Oh, wait. Well, hold on before we do that.
Okay.
For anybody that would like a shout out on a future show.
Yes.
You guys know the routine. Mm-hmm. Give us a call at 941-677-2733. We're going to have that number up on the screen in a little bit.
Yeah.
Or send us an email, info@runeatdrink.net. You can record either a voice message on that phone number, or you can shoot us a quick email. We'll read your email, but we'd love for you to send us a voice file, like so a voice recording. It. And shout yourself out. Mm-hmm. Shout out a friend of yours who's maybe done their first Couch to 5K or who has hit a PR or some other goal or just whatever reason they might need to be shouted out.
New height in training mileage.
Yeah. Or explored someplace new and cool.
Yeah.
So, that's 941-677-2733 or email info@runeatdrink.net.
So now let's talk running.
running.
Yeah.
Training. It's that time of year.
It's so humid. People hate the word moist.
And there's a reason. There's several reasons.
It's steamy.
Well, we're coming off of a tropical storm.
Mm-hmm.
It came through. It may have blown over somebody's very light and flimsy outdoor patio furniture here.
Quite true. Yes.
I think that we might have had maximum gusts of 25 mile an hour here. It was not bad, but it was a soaker. I think that we got 8 or 9 inches of rain in one afternoon or one day.
Yeah.
And it's just been gross ever since. The swales are still full or they're receding, but there's still water standing in spots.
It's a lot. So
yeah. And of course, our first big race is typically in the fall, or our next big race is in the fall.
Yes.
And that means training season is now, or it's about to really kick into high gear.
Yeah. Usually, yeah. So we've talked about wanting to do Bird in Hand in September, wanting to do the Detroit half in October, wanting to do, or actually successfully registering for.
Okay, see, in my mind, I was thinking that those were both in November, but you're right.
No,
you're right.
Because November is Wine and Dine.
Right.
So we got to get to training and hydrating a la Rhonda Lee with the reminders, which is excellent. So we really, we should be training immediately.
And well, we are, but it's funny, like coming into Florida summer hits really hard, really fast. Yeah. So you end up going from, it's kind of warm, but not so muggy and gross to immediately the first big storm. Rainy season hits.
You just walk out there.
3 weeks ago, our yard looked like hay.
And now it's really green.
It's growing so fast. If they missed a week, they'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
So we're having to hit it and get back to it. So our first run coming up is this coming weekend.
Yes.
And that's going to be revisiting the Tampa Beer Run. So we're previewing what next the upcoming episode is going to be. Mm-hmm. But
it's the Tampa Beer Run, and then I guess the first official race of the beginning of our 6th season of the show.
Yes.
will be Richard's Father's Day run on Sunday, June 19th at Eulalie to benefit the Moffitt Cancer Center in Tampa.
Yeah. Now, this is a race that we have done in the past.
We have.
And it's one that for us is, of course, very near and dear to our hearts because I'm from Tampa, number one, born and raised. Number two, getting to celebrate fathers.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Yes.
Is great. 3, we really appreciate the Gonsmart family for their support of the show over the years. Mm-hmm. And one of their restaurants, the Columbia, was featured on episode 1.
Very first.
Of the show.
Yes.
So we're going to be returning to that as well.
Yes. So that was last year, that was episode 172. Mm-hmm. 172, where we went to that, and it was just amazing. All 100% of any kind of race registration for that race goes to the Moffitt Cancer Center in Tampa.
Phenomenal.
And they have personally supported members of our family and friends as they have battled cancer.
Yes.
So
100%. So
can't thank that family enough. Can't thank that organization enough. So, yeah, that is going to be the first race that kicks off the 6th season.
That'll be the first.
The 6th year of our season year.
Yeah,
of our show.
It's almost back to back. So we will do Tampa Beer Run next weekend. We will be turning around and going back to Tampa for Richard's Run.
Yeah.
So looking very forward to those.
Yeah, it's one of our favorites. One of my favorites from this past year, the 5th year of our show, because we saw Tim Shackton, who is the brewmaster, who is such a great guy. We saw him at that race, and
we've seen him several times.
Yeah, and we saw him at Gasparilla too,
recently
in Tampa. But it's just such a great time, such great people. So,
and Meg over on Facebook is saying, "I'm thinking about doing something fun and creating a weekly cheer squad training for myself during recovery, since I don't know how exactly my recovery will go.
Oh."
At least I can be the loudest, most cheerful spectator on marathon weekend. I love that.
Yay. Oh, that's fantastic.
When you've got to recover and you've got to modify, you do what you can do, and you make sure you're following the advice of your medical professional, your PT, whoever is treating you. And I don't think anybody could say, don't cheer so hard. And, runners don't like to be told, hey, we're going to have to cut off that foot. So does that mean I just need to slow it down or no, you're going to have to stop? Yeah, no. Yeah. Oh, runners are horrible.
It's so difficult. It's so difficult. So I think that's a fantastic idea and such a great way to keep it positive.
It is.
Yeah.
And Josh is saying kudos to them for staying in business another 5 years. Well, I mean, they've been in business since 1905 with the Columbia. So yeah, I'm happy that they're still around.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of the Columbia, you never know what'll be connected to our Tampa Beer Run episode. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. But so those are some things coming up. And I want to thank Michael Kilgore and everybody at the Columbia Restaurant Group for having us back. And for providing entries for us and members of the Runcation Nation to run that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
JoJo is saying over on Facebook that she ordered some new red shirts yesterday.
Ooh,
Thank you, JoJo. That's awesome.
So great.
Well, we're hoping that this new design that's coming out is really going to tickle everybody's fancy. I think it's cool.
Yeah. I do too.
So
stay
tuned.
Mm-hmm. You're okay. You and I, we have to talk about our favorite races from this past year.
Okay.
And it's hard. Our favorite races, our favorite running segments through this past year. And I can't, of course, we're going to talk about the Great Meetup,
which we have already mentioned once.
Yes.
But I think earlier in this year of the podcast, the Anchorage RunFest, where we returned to see Bart Yasso and Marko Cheseto, and just that moment on the course where he tapped you on the shoulder was one of my favorites of all time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to agree, but before I do that, I got some comments over on Facebook. We got JoJo saying, wait, a new design? Yes, there's a new 5-year anniversary design coming.
Yeah.
The folks over there at Pure Creative are working on it with us. And any chance of Racerback tanks? I don't know what that is. No, I'm kidding. I do know. I do know what that is.
We can ask them.
Yes. We'll have to check and see.
Yeah.
And then I'm sorry, that was JoJo. And then Cheryl asked about the Racerback tanks.
Okay.
Hello, Cheryl.
I'm on it, Cheryl.
And then Darlene is in the chat and also said she ordered a few last week. So you all, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Aww.
But you mentioned the return to Anchorage RunFest.
Oh, yes.
And again, our goal is to get all over the country. We did revisit Anchorage twice in as many years.
No.
Twice in 3 years.
It was like a skipped year
twice
because
in
of
3 years.
the pandemic and everything going virtual and
That one is, I would say that if you're looking at bucket list races to do, you should absolutely do it. For me, this is one where it's really all about the experience in the place.
Yeah.
And I think the rest of the ones we're going to talk about are all about the people.
Although
we had some great people, like you said, Marko, I was ahead of him on a race course for so short of a period of time.
And
although technically he'd already lapped us.
And he was doing the half marathon.
That's not what's important right now.
Yeah. I don't know.
But getting to see the beauty of Alaska, getting to experience that city, that race is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And it's one of the few races. It's the only race where you can do a 49K and everybody gets a PR because it's the only
ultra at that distance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So not that I'm saying that we'll ever do that. You know what I mean?
So
anyway,
yeah, I'm a big fan of that one and would absolutely recommend. But we also had the opportunity to not only get passed by him on a race, we got to talk with him afterwards, and we also got to talk with Bart.
Just
Bart Yasso, the mayor of running, kind of a big deal.
So inspirational, and but both of them are, and they are just like seeing Marko's interview after Boston in April. He is the nicest, most positive guy. I think he just celebrated a wedding anniversary. So shout out to him, by the way, while we're talking about it. I love that. And yeah.
We're getting more requests in the comments over on Facebook.
I have to make a list.
Meg's asking for dry fit baseball caps. I would have to agree with that one.
Yes. Okay. Baseball caps and Racerback.
Dry fit baseball caps. We don't do cotton anything.
No.
So we're big proponents of banning cotton from our running wardrobe.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Now.
And Darlene agrees with us on Anchorage.
Beautiful. Right.
And JoJo agrees with us on Alaska. Alaska rocks, she says.
It's beautiful. And the weather was the weather is great at that time of year.
It's great in the summer. In Alaska's summer, it's great with a high of 75 degrees.
Yeah. And I think we can say that our all-time favorite, I don't know if you're going to say this, but I think our favorite all-time race experience from this past year, as far as the Runcation Nation community goes, would have to be episode 201, the Donna Marathon Weekend Meetup.
Yeah, I mean, we've gone on record. We've actually gone on another podcast, one that you should check out, Experiences You Should Have, is the name of the podcast.
Yes.
And we were asked about our favorite race that we've done. But at that time, we had traveled everywhere from Key West to Anchorage to run and a lot of points in between. And we both said the same thing, which was the Donna.
Yeah.
Fast, flat course, beautiful neighborhoods to run through, amazing on-course support and experience and community.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that, to me, I think makes that race. I think there might be more beautiful races to run. I think that there might be more challenging races to run.
By that, we mean hilly as Floridian.
Yes. But I don't know that you would find many that are as motivational or as inspiring.
That you just get everything from that. But the reason that it's on the list for this year is because of the members of the Runcation Nation that ran virtually and came in person to run with us at the 5K and the half and the full.
In spite of some interesting weather conditions.
Yeah.
We were full tilt Florida.
Full tilt Florida, yeah, for sure.
At that point. 30 mile an hour sustained winds.
It was
raining the entire time.
A challenging experience, especially for Kelly and Jessica. But I just, the times we had at Post Tavern, at Rev Brewing, introducing our Runcation Nation to the Bouncy Hunters.
Which is, for people who are new to the show, the Bouncy Hunters is a group of doctors out of the Mayo Clinic and friends of theirs and supporters.
Yeah.
They get together, they run, and they fundraise for the Donna Foundation to end breast cancer.
Yeah.
Amazing group and really great friends of the show and just friends.
And it was it was also Josh's first 5K, first half marathon, first challenge weekend. I mean, it was just incredible.
We were talking about this on our producers chat, and he had just a great memory and great time of that, and getting to share that with him that weekend of firsts.
Yeah.
Not only his first half marathon, his first 5K, first challenge. And it was first. And then
our first meetup ever.
And then our first meetup.
Just the meetup at the hotel by the pool with everybody together.
Yes.
Was brought the waterworks for me. So I think that Kelly and Jessica, they deserve bonus medals on top of any challenge medals that they received. Not only because Kelly volunteered at the expo, but what they did in that marathon to cross the finish line to endure was inspiring.
It really was.
So,
but we also had another great Florida race.
Yes.
Just a few weeks later.
Amazing.
And we returned to my hometown of Tampa, Florida to run the Gasparilla this year. And the Gasparilla Distance Classic, for us, we opted for a distance we had not done previously.
8K?
And 8K.
4 point something. 9, whatever, 5 miles.
Yeah. And getting to run that in just outside of downtown along Bayshore Boulevard, kind of getting the scenic parts of the Gasparilla without having to do the full 13. There's a lot to be said there. But then it was also a later in the day start for us, which was new. That was new. And that time of year and in that particular area, there is not a lick of shade.
No. Bayshore? No.
No.
You know who's an expert in that stretch? Meb Kefleski.
He is.
Yeah. Who we saw at that expo, and that always fills my heart with joy. And he signed our hats, and it was just wonderful.
See, I think dry fit caps like these, the one I'm showing on the camera, is one that Meb signed for us.
Yeah. So we absolutely, I loved that. And then just race experiences. There are 2 interviews that I was thinking of, and then the race experience that we got that was new this year, the Shamrock Marathon weekend, where we met up with the Will Run For folks.
Yes.
And Chris Darling from the Extra Mile podcast group.
Yes.
Yeah. Loved that. And
we still have some like a food recommendation from Chris that's going to make its way onto the show in a future episode. And we've got some more stuff from that weekend, because there's so much going on in that big race weekend like that.
And it's fantastic. And
it really is. Although it's going to probably force us to make some tough choices next year if we want to do it.
Yeah.
More on that later.
Yeah, but and the interviews that we had, the interviews
number one, the interviews on the show really came out of necessity because of the pandemic.
And we had some great ones.
And we'd done interviews before.
All throughout this month, I'm putting in the feed flashbacks throughout the 5 years, from Meb to Chef Art Smith to Bart Yasso's 3-part interview to Catherine Switzer, just amazing people that we have been able to chat with. Mike Rallman from the Be Our Guest podcast. We got to interview Mark Valentine this year on the show. Just, it's fantastic to be able to talk to fellow podcasters and share their passions as well for their shows and the running experiences, the eating experiences, that just amazing interviews we've had.
Yeah. And like I said, that we had a few interviews before the pandemic. Then when the pandemic happened, we wanted to try to get more, and that actually spurred us to upgrade equipment and to kind of lean into being able to do those interviews, get software, Zoom, and so that we can talk to everybody on the planet who's using Zoom and be able to do those.
And our patrons of the show have been a big help with that.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's paid off because we've been able to get some amazing people on the show. I mean, we did recently interview Fitz Kohler for an extended period of time. Author, race announcer, cancer survivor. She's just an incredible lady.
So inspiring.
Yeah. Our first interview with Bart was over Zoom, but then we ended up doing a face-to-face interview after that because he remembered you.
This past year. Yeah. This past year we got him and Marko, and then we released that in October when they did the delayed Boston Marathon.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, we have comments over on Facebook. Cheryl saying she'll have to look up when Donna is again. It's in February every year.
The first weekend.
First weekend. So hopefully you can come down and run it with us. We would like that. And Josh is saying, does Catherine know who she is?
Catherine knows.
Catherine knows, but Joan Benoit Samuelson may not.
Oh, stop it. Just stop it. You're never going to let me live it down.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Inside joke.
Well, I think we've told that story on many a chat before. So, but these episodes, 208 with Boston Marathon champion Amby Burfoot, and with Fitz on 210, and just those have been, all of those have been incredible parts of this past year that I am so grateful for.
Oh yeah. To get to talk with somebody like Amby for the length of time that he gave us was phenomenal.
Full of knowledge and history and stories and just fantastic.
I mean, you're literally talking to somebody who helped shape the sport of running. And it's hard to think of that. Like, what do you mean? Human beings have been running ever since there have been human beings. Well, yes, usually to catch food or avoid becoming food. This is people choosing to run for fun or for sport or for competition.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful to get to talk to people who were that formative in that.
Yeah. It's just been a year full of experiences.
And amazing people.
With amazing people.
Very well said.
That I would not trade for the world. And so happy that we didn't do something like pod fade, which is a term for podcasts that stop within peter out within the first year. And and I think it's because of the support of the people in the Runcation Nation, and because these people who are heroes in running and inspirations took a chance to talk to us on the show and said, okay, like from a different time zone, even. Hello.
Not only different time zone, a different day.
A different day.
We got to time travel
in the future. So we've had all these amazing experiences. We've also had some pretty great food.
We may have had one or two good meals on the show. One or two. Look, I'm not going to lie. I run so I can get to the eating and the drinking. Okay. I'm also very bling driven when it comes to medals. So if it's in a great city with an amazing food and beverage scene and a cool medal, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. And we had some firsts this year. We ended up going and doing one of the races from the folks over at Vacation Races, and we were up in the Smoky Mountains, and we got to go to Gatlinburg, Tennessee for the very first time. And while we were there, we discovered an amazing steakhouse that's 1 block off the main drag on the water by this little
I liked
creek.
It was very classic.
Creek?
It was beautiful.
Not really big enough to be a river, kind of a creek.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It was classic, the Peddler Steakhouse. It made me think of my childhood. Yeah.
Again, you talk about nostalgia. If I could eat a meal at the Peddler Steakhouse and go back to the hotel and watch Stranger Things,
that's great.
that would be amazing.
That is nostalgia to the hilt.
Classic American steakhouse, the dark wood,
Yeah.
the salad bar.
The salad bar for me did it.
You know, the
Did it.
pewter, the lead-free pewter. I hope it was lead-free. It was lead-free. The lead-free pewter plates and ramekins and all this. It was perfect. Perfect.
But we also had another experience, steak experience.
Well, we had a couple.
I know.
Are you thinking about Charlie's Steakhouse?
Yeah.
Charlie's Steakhouse, which is a very small upscale chain in Florida, and I believe a couple of other states. Charlie's, absolutely. That was at the recommendation of one of our patrons of the show, John Schroeder.
Yes.
And
so thank you, sir.
Probably one of the best steak experiences we've ever had. Great dry aged beef, amazing sides, and
it's the sides that did it for me.
I was going to say, I'm guessing you're talking about the mac and cheese.
Yes, the lobster mac and cheese.
The actual brick
I'm sorry,
sized
I was
serving.
just clapping. There was we don't have a button of applause, but
absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it was so good. It was so good.
JoJo is chiming in with one that is absolutely fantastic. We got to run and eat and drink with JoJo while we were in Atlanta.
That was great.
And we found an Italian spot.
Tyler.
At the recommendation of another member of the Runcation Nation.
Yeah. Tyler recommended number 246. Yeah.
In Decatur, Georgia, which is a southeastern suburb of Atlanta, and white tablecloth dining experience, but a very rustic feel on the inside.
Oh,
absolutely incredible
great service
food.
too.
Great service.
So good.
Phenomenal. Good recommendation there.
I loved it. Oh my gosh.
See, another steakhouse though.
Oh,
this is definitely more the upscale, like experiential meal type place.
Oh yeah.
We talked about it on the show in episode 197. That's Bull and Bear.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That is, there are 2 locations. They are both inside of Waldorf Astoria hotels, one in New York.
Yes.
And one in Orlando.
And I'm going to tell you, when they brought an old fashioned to the table, I know this is the eat portion, but when they brought an old fashioned in a bowl, in a glass bowl, it looks like a bowl and it's smoking. And they said, get the fried chicken.
Okay. I was going to say that for the steakhouse to say that the thing we had to get
was the fried chicken.
Yeah. And they didn't even hesitate. The entire service team
so good.
that you get.
So good.
And this fried chicken is unlike any fried chicken I've ever had.
Yeah.
Mashed potatoes. And all I can say, folks, foie gras gravy.
Yeah. And I know that some people probably turn off by that, but I just
trust me,
God,
you won't
good.
be.
So
Amy's having a palate flashback. Josh says over on YouTube. Yes,
I'm sorry. Yes,
I know the like what does Guy Fieri say? The
flavor jets.
Flavor jets are activated.
We're going to Flavor Town.
And JoJo, yes, that cheesy garlic bread at 246 in Atlanta. That is. We also talked about a fast casual. Again, a genre of restaurant that often does not make the show.
Fast casual, yeah. I mean, we've had a couple of great ones.
They're the exception. I mean, there's tons of them out there.
This one is fantastic.
Yeah, this is back in Jacksonville, Florida.
And it's an experience we got to have with Josh at the Burrito Gallery in episode 201. And we had such a great server in Chelsea.
Yes. She was fantastic.
She was so knowledgeable.
And not even a server. She was working the counter.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, I'll tell you all about this and that. And what did you get here? And get the shrimp tacos. And yes, you were right. I mean, get the birria. Get
Josh,
churros.
Patron of the show, he ate with us there. He's even saying in the chat over on YouTube, great place, great service. Yeah.
Yes.
Their cocktail game was ridiculous.
Spot on, yeah.
And we're in the food portion, but the cocktail game was great. The food was incredibly fresh, beautifully presented at the table.
Yeah.
For a fast casual place, they're doing something that not many fast casual places are doing. Just saying.
It's fantastic. So I think we had a lot of great food. Each one of these, though, has been an experience that was recommended by somebody in the Runcation Nation, or we got to experience it with a member of the Runcation Nation.
Yes.
Which
is even better.
Makes it all the more special.
Yep.
Yeah. So
100%.
We had some great beverages.
We did have some great beverages.
All that running made us thirsty too.
And for the first one, we're going to return to Alaska.
Because we just can't help it. It's Dana's favorite.
Okay, maybe I'm partial.
Actually, for the first two.
But here's the thing. They're doing something so right up there. We're back in Alaska. We're going to Anchorage Distilling.
So much so that we had it shipped here.
I actually bought bottles to be shipped back here.
Of their gin, of their ghost pepper vodka.
Regular vodka, and their gin.
Mm-hmm. Awesome stuff.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, and just the place itself.
I was going to say,
the ambiance, the atmosphere.
You are in an industrial park and you go in and it's all of a sudden you're in a log cabin. It was wonderful.
Yeah. Really. And up in Alaska, we found we have an embarrassment of riches in Florida in terms of the breweries.
Yeah, the brewery scene in Florida has exploded. Once they made changes to laws here that enabled it, craft brewing took off. And we do really have amazing breweries here.
But so do they in Alaska.
They do.
And we couldn't help it. I mean, the first time we went to Alaska, we went here and we could not wait to go back to Midnight Sun.
And Midnight Sun, you could have actually put in the food section.
Both. Yes. I would say both.
Their food is insanely good.
So flavorful. It's the kitchen is doing it right. I don't even know. And they're so nice. The service element of that place is just great. It's kind of like Scofflaw where we went with JoJo in Atlanta in December.
Yeah, it has a bit more of an industrial look. Scofflaw in Atlanta is another great option for everybody. I think that if you're looking for a place that is, they had a food truck, but they what they're leaning into is not their kitchen. They're leaning into their beer.
At Scofflaw.
And they're doing beer right.
At Scofflaw. At Midnight Sun. They've got the whole package.
They do.
You just...
And that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with either approach.
Oh, no. And you have to do what you can do.
And typically, it's not common to see breweries that have a strong kitchen and brewery. It's usually they're either really good food, okay beer, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Just... It just, they have the complete package. Mm-hmm. And if we ever lived in Anchorage, I would be, if you couldn't find me, I'd either be at Anchorage Distillery or Midnight Sun.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's like I said in the food segment, Bull and Bear had one of the best old fashions that, the entirety of their beverage game in episode 197.
Yes.
Because we had a variety of things to try. Mm-hmm. And they just, it didn't matter the spirit. All of the beverages were awesome.
Yeah, they have, of course, the Bull and Bear Old Fashioned has a lot of pomp and circumstance and theatricality.
Yeah.
but they're also using amazing ingredients for it. They had several other offerings that were phenomenal.
Yeah.
That I don't think you would go wrong.
You couldn't.
Getting.
You could. And
hey, my understanding is they're available at either location, either New York or Orlando.
And I would just like to say Athletic Brewing that we discovered.
Not a place.
Not a place.
But a product.
But a product was fantastic.
Athletic Brewing, they were giving away free samples at the Run Disney Expo.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wine and Dine.
Ended up getting a sampling of their beers and doing a tasting here on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And it is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
They did an amazing job. And
they have a variety of styles of non-alcoholic brew.
Yes.
And
theirs are not alcohol removed. They never have it. So they're brewed with the intent of giving you mouthfeel and flavor profile, but they don't get the alcohol.
I don't know how they do it.
And then extract it.
I didn't pay attention. I just tried it and it's good. So I would like to say that. And then we discovered the free wines that are excellent.
Yeah.
As far as non-alcoholic options.
As we were doing 75 Hard this year, we of course were doing some periods of time with no alcohol on the show. Mm-hmm. And we did venture into some things that were non-alcoholic. During that time, we also covered a place, JoJo's mentioning it in the chat on Facebook, Apothecary, which was a kind of, they had carved out a space inside of a brewery here locally in Fort Myers. And unfortunately, they are no more.
Yeah, so I would say...
But you were right. I missed them.
Where did we just go to have...
That was the
in Jacksonville, right?
In
Jacksonville, we went to have a kind of... It reminded me of some of the beverages that we could have at the Apothecary.
Mm-hmm.
That place that we had in Jacksonville. Oh my God, why am I not remembering the name of it?
I was going to say, you tend to be...
Why? What did I do? Oh my gosh. Hang on.
You're the one.
I don't even know.
You're the one I count on to remember all of this. Wild Crafters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wild Crafters, they are a booze-free bar in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And actually that ended up being... That is another one of my favorites for the year because it was so different, but the vibe and the people and watching the bartender making drinks, not a drop of alcohol in the place, but making drinks with so much care and attention that he's literally like tweezing out
ice cubes.
There's too many ice cubes in this drink, and making sure that every single drink that they put out was Instagrammable.
They were beautiful.
Insane.
They were beautiful. So it makes me sad about Apothecary. But
yes, that was a great find in Southwest Florida. But yeah,
this place,
no more.
But this place, Wildcrafters, so great.
Little bit up the road, but absolutely worth
it.
Worth it. So yeah, so those are some of the highlights from this year. But we covered so much from all over the country. We just had an amazing time.
You know what it's time for?
That. What is it time for, Amy?
It's time for anybody that wants to call in.
Yes, if you would. I've got something specifically prepared for this. Here, hold on. If you're watching on the video, this is going to look like super professional. Look at that. Wow. We have a ticker with the phone number. And we would love it if you have a chance to call in. If there's something an episode you really remember from the last year
an experience,
whatever you've got, we'd love to hear from you. 941-677-2733. We'll give this a shot for a second. See if anybody's available to call or wants to. We totally understand if we're putting you on the spot. We know that some people can be shy. And I hear a phone call right now. And let me make sure I've got the audio turned up. Hello, caller. Tell us who you are. Hello.
You thought you could keep me away.
I know who that is. Hey, Josh. Welcome to the show.
5 years. Where does it go?
Oh, we don't know.
Where does it go? And have not been with you guys for all of the time, but it has been an experience nonetheless, getting to hang with the Donna crew in Jacksonville. Hopefully we will have a much bigger turnout next year. Get here, people.
I hope so. I really do. It was just so incredible to have you all in person there together with us.
Yep.
The 5K was amazing.
And as we talked, oh, absolutely. I mean, Jack, Neptune Beach was beautiful. I think we would have enjoyed the half and the full a little bit more if it wasn't so Chicago-y with the weather. But that was my little niche there. Chicago-y. I think I'll get that trending after the show.
Okay.
Florida's a crapshoot in February. You never know.
Tell.
We've had years where it's warm. We've had years where it's freezing and raining and everything in between.
But it doesn't matter the weather.
No, it doesn't. As we talked about last night, your tangibility, I think, is also a word. If not, I'm making it now. The tangibility of you both to all of us, not just with a podcast or with a coffee chat or with everything like that, but just to get to hang out with you two and hang out with each other, whether you guys are part of the race or it's Susie and JoJo going here or a couple other people going there, and just all of the representation that Red has had all over the map. And it is something that you guys, I know we're not anticipating in the infancy of the show, but look at where you've come. Look how far you've come.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we appreciate that, and that's due in no small part to people like you and the rest of the Runcation Nation and our patrons of the show who help us to upgrade and improve things. So, Josh, thank you for being a part of the Year 5 celebration tonight. Man, you rock. We're so glad to have you as a patron and a friend of the show, and you rock, man.
Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you very much. And as I continue to sit here and swelter in my apartment, I will be thinking of the wonderful weather that Donna did bring to us, both rainy and non.
Well, I was going to say, if you average out the temperature in your apartment and the temperature we had at Donna, it's a pleasant temperature.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to help you find the silver lining.
I hope
what did we call it last night?
Heat acclimation training. Yes.
Heat acclimation training.
There it is.
There you go. You're getting ready.
Training, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Josh, keep us up to date on your training, my friend, and we'll talk soon.
We can't wait. Good luck with your competition.
Yes, August will be here before I know it.
Yeah.
And, I want to get one of those dry fit caps in a couple different colors to wear during the competition, so I can represent you guys out there on the pad. I'm not sure if it's going to be outdoor or indoor. Either way, August in Alabama is going to be hot.
We will get with Pam and Errol, see what they can do for us, since apparently you're not the only one who wants them.
I know. We've had a couple.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, man. We will talk with you soon.
All right. Love you both. Take care of yourselves, and thank you again for everything.
Talk to you later,
too.
man.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
So Josh is one of our patrons of the show. He is our executive producer at that level of the show. He we had the chance to do our producers chat with the executive producers last night. And he let us in on the fact that he is training for his first strongman competition. So we're looking forward to supporting Josh over the coming weeks and months for getting him ready for that. We have another caller. Who do we have?
Happy podcast-versary to you. Happy podcast-versary to you. Hey guys,
JoJo, how are you?
No real song this year. Sorry.
That's okay.
It's okay. I'm going to play the old one at the end of this episode.
We might still have it.
Oh, geez. Oh, that was so fun to make, actually.
Well,
I just want to take a moment to say thank you, not only for having the podcast, but for kind of introducing us together and giving us all a place to kind of hang and connect. What's great is that, well, one, not only about the podcast, but the running in general, is that all walks of life, all body shapes, all backgrounds, it doesn't matter. We all come together because we kind of have a commonality. And you've introduced me to some great people. We have an awesome group in the coffee crew and our coffee chat and the podcast. So, and it's great now because I'm used to traveling alone for races. Now I've got people.
Yeah, and I think it should be said, we can't make every race that members of the Runcation Nation are doing, and we try to make as many as possible.
True.
But both of us still have day jobs, and those pesky things get in the way. But we see,
yes, they do.
Yeah, right. It's so overrated. But you are meeting
those
up.
Bills.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Who needs that?
No.
But you're meeting up with
Susie
and Darlene, and you guys are out.
And Darlene.
And you're out doing.
And then Meg in September.
Yes.
Can't wait for that, to see that.
So we're getting to see and live vicariously through all of you in the Runcation Nation, the places you guys are going to accomplish, explore, and indulge, and giving us ideas.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Well, it's great because, like you said, giving you ideas, but watching you guys go to different ones, seeing the pictures from other people gives, us ideas, the rest of us ideas, I should say, about which races. Hey, if there's tons of hills, nope, don't want to do that one.
That is
don't
true.
add that one to the list.
We are from Florida. We know that.
But you get to kind of see get the opinion firsthand from the individuals who are doing the races to see, hey, is it worth doing? No, that's not a great one. I mean, look at Garmin. You'd think it'd be a great race, and they mismarked the course. I don't know how you do that, but
that is true.
Oh
no, but I'm saying there's different things with each one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you learn.
Hey, is that something I want a chance? Is that something I don't want to go to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you learn. We learn from each other.
And when you're talking about that involves travel, race entry fees, dining, and food while you're there, you're talking about a pretty good investment. And it's nice to benefit from the knowledge of the whole group.
Yeah, I think we got from Cheryl the airport we should fly into for the Shamrock weekend, for example.
Perfect.
Yeah. So we get so much from everybody.
It's been great. I mean, this is our family. We support one another. We're there for one another to support, to motivate, to commiserate, and it's great.
And to support each other when
the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Through it all. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's going to be
we
ugly
talk
this
food
summer.
And drink, so,
of course.
Well, that doesn't hurt.
Why not? I mean, I loved going to the Flying Biscuit with you, JoJo. I loved that, and
I just ran out of the butter.
Oh, the apple butter.
I thought JoJo was going to adopt our server.
I know.
Or wanted to be adopted by our server.
I would have taken her home.
They were they became best friends through the entire meal. It was so great to see that and to be a part of that. And it's just about the people and the experiences that we have. We're so lucky to have people like you, JoJo.
And we want to say thank you to JoJo.
No, we're all lucky to have one another, I think.
And JoJo's one of our...
I truly believe that. We're lucky. We came together for a reason.
Yes. Yeah. I agree with that. And JoJo is one of our associate producers of the show through Patreon. Thank you, JoJo. Honestly, you have no idea how
laughing. Go ahead.
Go. So you have no idea how much y'all support means to us and our ability to upgrade equipment and stuff. I mean, you can do a podcast with just your cell phone, but man, it's nice to not have to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just got a compliment, actually.
To say, I was laughing because when I upgraded, it was just to support you guys in the group and to keep this going on. And I didn't realize that anything came along with it. So the first time you guys gave me the little shout out, what the heck did I do? Did I tell them about something? Did I give them notes? What did I do? Wow. And then you let me know that kind of came along with it because I have no clue.
Yeah. Now you can win bar bets when you can say, I'm listed on Internet Movie Database.
Mm-hmm. Say you're wrong. I'm going to prove it. So... yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, JoJo, thank you
but
again.
I just wanted to come on and wish you a happy podcast anniversary, number 5. And I can see this going on for years because you guys love it as much as we do. So
many races to run
that you love. So
yes. You're going to be in Detroit now,
so it kind of helps that we're like a team of runners. So we have too many. That way we can kind of spread the love. Everyone can do different things.
It's actually a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
And Amy was asking, you're going to be at Detroit Free Press, correct?
Yes, that is my St. Jude race this year.
Yes.
And do you know which race course you're doing yet?
International.
But of course I do. I am doing the international half.
So fancy.
And Rhonda Lee will be there.
Yes.
So it'll be amazing. It'll be amazing.
I'm hoping
It'll be my first international race.
Yay.
That is so great. That is so great.
We had to get that in there. We had to get that. All that you do for St. Jude is amazing. So I can't think. Well, I'm not gonna say I can't think of a better organization, but it's just such a great organization, and they do so much good. Yeah, just like the Donna Foundation. They do so much good. Yeah. So.
And that's another thing I think that runners can get behind is the fact that you're running for yourself, you're running for your health, you're running for all these other things, but you also have the opportunity to do some good. Yeah.
Give back. You do something, and it's nice that I can combine something that I won't say totally love running, but I enjoy.
Especially
I get some type of enjoyment out of it, and I can combine that with giving back to the community.
Yeah. So we thank you for supporting us and supporting St. Jude and what you do.
No. I thank you. Well, you guys have a great night, and I look forward to more podcasts. And, of course, I look forward to more Runcation Nation meetups.
Yes, we do too. Awesome. Thank you for calling in.
We will talk to you soon.
All right, love you guys.
Take care.
Love you too. Good night.
All right.
That's awesome. Yeah. So Detroit Free Press half is coming up. That one has if people are not familiar, that one has 2 half marathon courses. One stays completely inside of the continental United States. The other crosses into Canada so briefly. And you get the opportunity to run in 2 countries on one race. Yeah. So, I mean, come on. Yeah. How cool is that?
I think it's super cool. And I can't wait to see that. Yeah. I can't, like JoJo and Rhonda Lee, and I hope that we can get up there and be a part of it.
Oh, I do too. I'm looking forward to that. And I believe Darlene is saying in the chat that she's going to be there for that one also.
Yay! Look, we have to go.
Yeah.
We have to go. And we have to train in the summer to get there.
We do have to train in the summer to get there. And that summer is here and upon us. So that said, we are over an hour right now. That means we do have an early morning wake up. So we're going to call it for additional phone calls for this evening. Okay. But everybody, I got to tell you, we cannot thank you enough for jumping in on the chats, for listening, downloading, subscribing, for making the last 5 years possible. You guys have really helped us keep going. And we're looking forward to bringing you another year of accomplishing, exploring, and indulging around the country.
Our hearts are full as we head into this weekend and return to our first ever race on the show.
Very first.
And we bring that to you. We are so looking forward to season 6, year 6. Thank you seems like too small a phrase, too small praise or appreciation.
For what you guys have given us.
For all that you have brought to our lives, and we didn't know how amazing and how wonderful and how just incredible this experience and this last 5 years have been.
Yeah, anybody can go on a great runcation, pick a great city, run a fun race, go to get some great food and beverage, but not everybody gets to come away with a bunch of new friends.
Really? So, and we can't thank you enough for all that you have brought to our lives.
100%. So guys, on the next episode, we're going to bring you more accomplishing, exploring, and indulging. I believe that we're going to be bringing them on the show, the new and improved Tampa Beer Run. That episode, when you hear it or see it in your feed, is going to be a video episode you're going to want to watch. We're going to reshoot episode 1 of the Running Drink podcast.
I promise not to say that I taste the IPA.
But
Okay.
I can't promise to say that I won't say it at some point in the recording.
Or try to get me to say it, I'm sure. Thank you so much for listening, for joining us on your long run, your commute to work, around the house, wherever you are. I'm your host, Amy, for the last 5 years.
And I have been your co-host and craft services and
IT.
pack mule and IT for the show, Dana.
I can't thank you enough as a co-host and tell you how much I love sharing the journey with you.
Aww.
And all of you in the Runcation Nation. Stay safe, stay well, and we will accomplish, explore, and indulge with you really soon.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Run, Eat, Drink podcast. We're having another great year thanks to your support. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We're at Run, Eat, Drink podcast. And on Twitter, we're Run, Eat, Drink pod. You can also give us a call at 941-677-2733 or send us an email at info@runeatdrink.net. Visit our website at runeatdrink.net and click on the subscribe link so you don't miss a minute. Find out how you can support the show at patreon.com/runeatdrinkpodcast. Accomplish, explore, and indulge right along with us. We'll talk to you next time.